So
That's
a rather big increase. And as a result, even though our distribution is actually up, 20% of the pantries are actually having to turn people away now, and 66% reported that they have had to cut back on how much they can give each individual family.
Oh, wow, that's surprising. You mentioned other organizations that are currently involved in the fight against hunger and poverty in Houston. Can you give me an example of other organizations that are involved with this complex issue of hunger? And do you have an estimate as to the total number of organizations that are totally involved with this?
Well, we actually work in partnership in all of our distribution. The Houston Food Bank deliberately collaborates on everything that we do. So it's 480 organizations that we collaborate with. An example would be, say, Target Hunger, which is the largest of the local pantry systems. And they operate a number of pantries, mostly throughout the 5th Ward, where families can go there. The Food Bank's role is to try and supply all the food to Target Hunger, and then Target Hunger works directly with the clients, and there's just thousands of clients every month.
And we're talking about the retail chain store Target?
No. Target Hunger is the name of a local charity.
Oh, okay. Wow, I'm not familiar with that. Oh, okay, that's good to know. Do you feel that the continued increase is sustainable? And do you see a possible tipping point when you can no longer meet the overwhelming needs?
Well, unfortunately, we're not meeting the need now. So if there was a tipping point, we'd pass it long ago. If you look at Census Bureau figures and drill them down for this area, today's a typical day. About 53,000 people will go hungry today, including 3,600 children. So we weren't meeting the needs. Now, the only part of the news that's good there is actually there's still a lot more of this surplus food that we can acquire for distribution than we're currently doing. We just have to develop better systems to bring it in, to handle it, and distribute it out. So there is hope, but fundamentally, so long as you have poverty levels, in Texas the poverty rate is 17% of families. In Texas, live below the poverty level. By definition, insufficient income to meet the basic needs, food being the most flexible at lowest cost, so long as that exists, we're going to have hunger. And what we really are is a Band-Aid. We alleviate hunger, but fundamentally, this is a poverty issue, and as a society, we have to solve that.
Correct. I agree. And what do you feel is one of the major hurdles, and I know you probably just answered that, but a major hurdle that needs to be addressed in order to ease the problem?
Well, given that I've already talked about that fundamentally this is about poverty, then I'll talk about the hurdles. One of our biggest issues is volunteers. So much of what we do requires food that we can get requires volunteers to work. So getting enough volunteers, both at the food bank and at the partner programs, is a pretty big obstacle for us. We have a lot of volunteers, but we actually need more, and we need to be able to fit them all in the building and get it working. Another obstacle that I would say is the ability to handle perishable and frozen items. It's stunning how much produce is wasted in the United States. It's literally billions of pounds of fresh produce is wasted. And this is not table waste. This is actually waste that's happening at the farm, at the packing house, at the distribution center, where the product is perfectly good. It just was misshapen, too small, too big, wrong color, you name it. But it requires special handling by the Houston Food Bank and by the partner programs. Same thing with frozen items. There's far more frozen donations available to us than we can handle. So our ability to handle frozen product at the Houston Food Bank level and at the partner program level needs to be addressed.
And is that due to, like you just mentioned, to not enough volunteers, or?
Well, that capacity is really having refrigeration, refrigerated vehicles, refrigerated storage systems, both at Houston Food Bank and at the partner programs.
It's interesting. Well, how can businesses and individuals help you with this problem? I'm sure that you do have a lot of businesses that are directly involved in trying to provide assistance in some way.
Yeah, and probably the best thing, and we get a lot, just could use more, is volunteering. We get a lot of corporate groups that come in. There's a team building exercise, come in and do that. And when we get to the new building, we actually are going to make a much more sophisticated thing, much better customer service, volunteer experience for them. But also food drives. Doing food drives either with Houston Foodbank directly, or Houston Foodbank doesn't keep any of the food, we just distribute out anyway. So if your church, your business knows of an area pantry that can use your help, just do it directly with them. And of course, it's so easy to go into any supermarket and donate through the Red Barrel program, where you just buy the pre-packed bag and drop it in the Red Barrel, and that's picked up by a pantry in that area.
Which is so convenient. It really is. It's a really good concept. You just mentioned are you all looking at building a new facility?
We actually purchased the Cisco distribution, their old distribution center,
okay.
And it's being renovated right now. We hope to be in it in June of 2011.
Excellent. That's excellent. Okay, so do you have a closing statement you wish to make with regards to this issue, and do you have an appeal to the public that you would like to make?
Well, probably I'll start with the appeal. The appeal is, please don't forget your hunger relief agencies after the holidays are over. Hunger is a year-round phenomenon. It's not a holiday issue. Public attention is highest during the holidays, but it's fundamentally driven by families not having enough resources, and that doesn't go away with the holidays. And I think that would also be my central point as well.
Well, Mr. Green, I'd like to personally thank you for your time in answering and bringing to light the escalating problems of hunger and poverty in Houston, and I really do sincerely thank